in the heart of ancient Africa, where the savanna stretched endlessly and the rivers ran thick with silt. There was a village called Lir Umbala. The people of Umbala lived in harmony with the land, respecting the spirits of the animals and the ancestors who watched over them. But one fateful year, the rains did not come, and the land turned to dust. The animals grew desperate, and the balance of nature began to unravel. It was during this time that a strange phenomenon occurred. A blood moon rose over the savannah, casting an eerie red glow across the land. The elders whispered of an ancient curse, had a tale passed down through generations, but never fully believed. They spoke of Little Yokahad, a serpent god who had been betrayed by mankind and banished to the shadows. It was said that Yoka would return during a blood moon to exact his vengeance. Using the animals as his instruments of terror, the first to fall was Keto, a young hunter who ventured into the wilderness to find food for his starving village. He never returned. Days later, his body was found at the edge of the forest, mangled and torn. His face was frozen in a mask of pure terror, and his wounds bore the marks of claws and teeth. But what killed the villagers most was this strange symbol carved into his chest, a coiled serpent. The elders recognized the symbol immediately. It was the mark of Naigoka. They warned the villagers to stay close to their homes, but hunger and desperation drove them to ignore in the warning. Soon, more hunters disappeared and the animals began to behave strangely. The beasts of the blood moon, the lions, once noble and proud, became twisted and grotesque. Their eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and their roars echoed. With a guttural, almost human-like rage, they stalked the village at night. Circling the huts and clawing at the walls, the villagers barricaded themselves inside. But the lions were relentless. One by one, they broke through, dragging home victims into the darkness. The elephants, normally gentle giants, turned into monstrous beings. Their tusks grew unnaturally long and sharp, and their eyes burned with a malevolent intelligence. They trampled the fields and crushed the huts, their trumpets sounding like the wails of the damned. The villagers tried to appease them with offering, but the elephants only grew more violent. Even the birds were not spared. Flocks of vultures descended upon the village, their feathers black as night, and their beaks dripping with blood. They attacked anyone who ventured outside, pecking at their eyes and tearing at their flesh. The skies were filled with their screeches, a cacophony of death. The serpents lair wry, desperate for answers. The village chief, Leonard Jabari Ayoib, sought out the wisdom of Leonard Mama Wadioibi, a reclusive witch who lived deep in the forest. Namawati was ancient, her skin wrinkled like the bark of a tree, and her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. She listened to Jabari's tale and nodded solemnly. The blood moon has awakened Nalka, she said. He has taken control of the animals, turning them into his servants. To break the curse, you must journey to his lair and destroy the source of his power, a sacred amulet hidden in the heart of the forest. Jabari knew the journey would be perilous, but he had no choice. He gathered a group of brave warriors and set out into the forest, guided by Mama Wadi's cryptic instructions. The forest was alive with danger. The trees seemed to twist and grow, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Strange whispers echoed through the shadows, and the warriors felt as though they were being watched. The final confrontation. After days of travel, they reached a massive cavern, its entrance guarded by a pack of hyenas with glowing red eyes. The hyenas attacked without warning, their jaws snapping and their claws slashing. The warriors fought valiantly, but many fell. Jabari and a handful of survivors managed to enter the cavern, where they found themselves face to face with Nyoka. The serpent god was enormous, his scales glistening like polished obsidian. His eyes burned with a fiery hatred, and his forked tongue flicked out as he spoke in a voice that echoed through the cavern. "You dare challenge me, mortals?" Nyoka hissed. "Your kind betrayed me long ago, and now you will pay the price." Jabari stood his ground, clutching the sacred dagger Mamawani had given him. With a cry, he lunged at Nyoka, plunging the dagger into the serpent's eye. Nyoka let out a deafening roar, thrashing wildly as the cavern began to collapse. The warriors fled, barely escaping with their lives. The aftermath. When they returned to the village, they found that the animals had returned to their normal state. The lions retreated to the savannah, the elephants wandered peacefully, and the vultures flew away. The blood moon faded, and the rains finally came, bringing life back to the land. But the villagers never forgot the horrors they had endured. They erected a shrine to Nyoka, offering prayers and sacrifices to keep him at bay. And though the serpent god was gone, they knew he was not truly defeated. For in the darkest nights, when the moon hung low and red in the sky, they could still hear his whispers on the wind. This story serves as a chilling reminder of the delicate balance between man and nature, and the ancient forces that lurk in the shadows.